You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, April 17th. In our top story, a bill that would give Nevada students a seat at the table in education policy making recently is halted by the state assembly. News 25 reporter Rory Rossell has the details surrounding what exactly Assembly Bill 316 is and why it is important.
A bill aimed at increasing student participation in education policymaking has now been stalled in the Nevada State Assembly, drawing both disappointment and concern from many education advocates and student leaders. Assembly Bill 316, or AB 316, proposed the creation of a student advisory position on local school boards across the state. Supporters of the bill described it as a meaningful step towards amplifying student voices in decisions that directly affect their education.
And unfortunately, just advisory groups don't always get a chance to be at the table. And so we really need to consider if these young people are becoming adults and about to vote, they can buy a gun and they can go to war. But you're telling me they can't sit on a board and use their voice, and they're not even being given the right to vote. We have to trust them at some point that they're going to be adult enough to handle these decisions, especially if they're being trained and they're being guided and they're not just being set on there with no guidance whatsoever.
Pahrump Valley High School's own Michael Keys, who is also the student member of the Nevada State Board of Education and the executive president of the National Student Board Member Association, was one of the two presenters on this bill, answering any questions that the committee had.
So why is AB 316 the solution to that problem? The first point is it really does create a structured statewide approach to student representation, really ensuring that no matter where a student goes to school, they can ensure that their voice will be presented on the board and represented to their local school board. So who would be eligible to run for a student trustee would be a rising 11th or 12th grader in a public high school within that county, and they must reside within that county to run. Locally, we do have a few counties that are doing this, have this in practice. Only about 16% of our students have student representation on their board. And so that 84% really we need to make sure that no matter where they live, they really have that opportunity to hear their voice and get their voices heard. I, like Mrs. Penrod has said, have sat on the State Board of Education for the past 2 years. I've used my voice to uplift other students' voices, and from what I've learned is that students don't feel like they have a voice. They can go to public comment, they can do that, but they don't feel like they're being heard. I'll just be quick. I thank you for the comments and the questions and concerns, and I look forward to Assemblymember Wynn working together, and then students are the ones sitting in the desks every day. I urge you to give them a seat at the table as well.
The legislation had received a bipartisan support in the Assembly Education Committee and was poised to move forward until it was held back by the committee chair, Assemblymember Selena Torres Fawcett. In a statement, student organizers expressed their disappointment over what they characterized as the lack of transparency and collaboration from the assembly member. In response to the bill's unexpected halt, student advocates have launched a petition urging legislative leaders to reconsider and advance AB 316. In just one day, over 400 people have signed in support. If you would like to add your name and stand with Nevada students, you can scan the QR code or visit the link on the screen. The future of student representation in Nevada schools may very well depend on it. For now, the future of AB 316 remains uncertain.
Well, American politics has changed in recent months. Our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent Maria Centers joins us with the latest southern border stats.
This past March, U.S. Border Patrol agents encountered 7,181 illegal immigrants at our southern border. In comparison to the same month under President Joe Biden's term, this marks a 95% dip from March 2024, a 96% decrease from March 2023, and a 97% decline from March 2022. Now let's hear from our Army National Guard soldiers assigned to Task Force East Transportation Company Boat Platoon, who've been patrolling the Rio Grande River off of McAllen, Texas as part of Operation Lone Star.
My specific mission down here is to patrol the Rio Grande River. We patrol it to make sure no one's crossing illegally, no one's transporting drugs illegally, and just ensuring the safe crossings between the border.
Assigned boat crews conduct day and night operations to hinder illegal border crossings in alliance with state and federal law enforcement partners.
It is a large river. There is a lot of space, a lot of turns and bends that we can't see around, a lot of angles, but we do our best to patrol all of it and keep it all under observation so no one can cross without notice.
Earlier this week, U.S. President Donald J. Trump confirmed that border crossings hit all-time record lows last month.
The most valuable thing that we provide with our boats is deterring any possible crossing. The biggest thing that we're really doing here is stopping people from crossing, and in my mind, that prevents people from getting hurt, either on our side or the illegal, potential illegal immigrant that's coming across.
The operations demonstrate interagency collaboration and security efforts in support of border and national security.
I don't like to see people getting hurt. I don't like to see people getting exploited or taken advantage of. And so I think that's the best thing about what I do.
As always, on behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, thank you so much for your selfless service in keeping all of our borders safe. Reporting from lovely Las Vegas and shooting it over that hump to pretty Pahrump, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
Well, to protect visitors from extreme heat and ensure public safety, Valley of Fire State Park will begin its seasonal trail closures on Thursday, May 15th.
To prioritize safety and prevent life-threatening situations, Valley of Fire State Park will implement its seasonal trail closures starting Thursday, May 15, 2025. The affected trails include Fire Wave, Seven Wonders Loop, Pastel Canyon Prospect, Arrowhead, Pinnacles, White Domes, Charlie Springs, and Natural Arches Trail. Extreme heat and hazardous weather conditions have contributed to numerous search and rescue operations in the past seasons. Hiking these conditions not only endangers visitors, but also places park personnel and emergency responders at risk. Park staff will strictly enforce these closures, and citations may be issued as necessary to ensure compliance. For the latest updates on trail closures and park conditions, visitors are encouraged to check the Nevada State's Park website at parks.nv.gov/news or use the Outer Spatial mobile app.
Well, VGK made the playoffs. Those details and more when News 25 returns.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, congratulations to the Vegas Golden Knights. Here's Mikey Ruhan with more details and a deeper look in today's sports report.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Vegas Golden Knights in Vancouver on Wednesday, taking on the Canucks in their final regular season game. First period, Canucks in Vegas territory. Garland shoots. Sutter with the rebound, 1-0 Vancouver. 90 seconds left in the second period. Carlson to the middle. Victor Olofsson, wide open, tied at 1. Bring it in. Well, thank you very much. Let's head to the third period, shall we? Olofsson with the slick pass. Pavel Dorofeev breaks the tie. Goal number 35. 2-1 VGK. Vegas goes on to win 4-1. Next up for the Golden Knights, round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs against the Minnesota Wild. Sunday, April 20th at T-Mobile Arena. Puck drop at 7. Las Vegas Aviators won their 4th in a row on Wednesday. Bigly, 12-4 against the Sugarland Space Cowboys. Rematch this evening at 6:35. The annual Battle for Vegas charity softball game is returning to Las Vegas Ballpark this summer with a new captain for the Raiders. Tight end Brock Bowers will lead his teammates against the Golden Knights when the 6th edition of the annual event takes place at 8 p.m. July 12th. Golden Knights will be captained for the 2nd straight year by center Jack Eichel, who took over for right wing Riley Smith, who was traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins in June of 2023. I'm sure he'll be back in the Knights uniform this year. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And continuing with sports news after the break, if you're a fan of wrestling, you're going to want to stick around and slam for this one. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 726.
Welcome back to News 25. Well, if you're a fan of WWE wrestlers like Bianca Belair and others like Pappy here, well, Harry Reid International Airport is ready to welcome WWE fans from around the world as WrestleMania body slams its way into Las Vegas starting tomorrow.
Whether you're flying in for the action or heading home after the final bell, follow these essential travel tips to keep your journey championship worthy. Tag team the pickup line like a pro. Use the cell phone lot. Don't get caught in a parking submission hold. Arrive early and chill for free at the cell phone lot on Kitty Hawk Way, open daily 6 a.m. to 1 a.m. Wait in comfort until your WrestleMania warriors are ready to roll. Easy your tag-ins, coordinate like a championship team. Tell your party to meet you near the numbered columns in the passenger pickup area. No curbside chaos. Parking at the curb is prohibited. If your crew isn't ringside and ready, use short-term parking. The first 15 minutes are free. Or circle back to the cell phone lot. Preparation is the key to victory. Stay in the loop. Follow at LAS Airport on X/Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for real-time updates and travel tips. Count out with the 4-3-2-1 plan. Leave your travel stress in the ring by sticking to this winning game plan. 4 hours before departure, arrange transportation to the airport or return your rental car. 3 hours before departure, check your bags with your airline. 2 hours before departure, join the line at the security checkpoint. 1 hour before departure, arrive at your gate and be ready to board.
Also starting tomorrow, we celebrate Lineman Appreciation Day to recognize the heroes who keep our lights on, rain or shine. Valley Electric Association linemen are wired for service and hard work, and they're dedicated to keeping our communities running smoothly.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
April 18th is National Lineman Appreciation Day. A lineman's job is challenging. It's dangerous. It means being ready to answer the call day or night, in good weather and bad. Linemen are always willing to go the extra mile to better the communities they serve. Today and every day, we thank you for your courage. We thank you for your commitment. We thank you for brightening our lives. Please join us in celebrating Lineman Appreciation Day. And remember to thank a lineman.
And in today's health news, from flashy buzzwords to health claims, food labels can sometimes be deceiving. And with this in mind, it's important to take a closer look at what you're buying at the grocery store.
Today's health report is brought to you by Desert View Hospital. When you or a loved one needs medical attention, Desert View Hospital is ready to help. We've been providing friendly and compassionate care to our neighbors since 2006, including emergency services available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Visit desertviewhospital.com to learn more. With limited exceptions, physicians are not employees or agents of this hospital.
The best thing you can do is turn your product around and get the information you need from the nutrition facts label as well as the ingredient list. This is where the detail is, and this will tell you exactly what's going on in that product.
Teresa Uri is a registered dietitian with Cleveland Clinic. She says manufacturers often use terms like natural or organic on the front of the box to make them seem healthier. But when you turn the package around, you see that in some cases the food actually has a lot of added sugars and saturated fats. That's why she recommends focusing on the nutrition facts label and ingredients list over any claims on the front of the box. In general, foods with fewer ingredients tend to be healthier, and you want to pay attention to things like the amount of calories per serving. Uri says grocery stores offer many different options of the same product, and that's why there is always a healthier choice.
You can always take two different items of the same food and turn the packages around and then compare how much sodium is in the one food, how much saturated fat, and then make the better choice of eating the product that's lower in those two items that you're looking to avoid.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look outside through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at all of the scattered clouds in the area over Mount Charleston and between Pahrump and Las Vegas. We'll take a closer look at those happenings and the weather conditions for this Easter weekend after the break.
Good evening, Nevada. My name is Roy Rosell, coming to you from the Channel 25 Weather Studios and taking a look at Nevada right up in northern Nevada. Fernley seeing 63 degrees, Fallon seeing 64, Carson City at 63, Tonopah's in the 50s at 58 degrees, Goldfield is at 61, Beatty's at 72, Amargosa's at 77, Las Vegas 1 degree lower at 76 degrees, and Death Valley is at 86 degrees today. But here in the beautiful Paradise Pahrump, it's currently 71 degrees. The high today was right now at 71 degrees with partly cloudy skies today. The wind was blowing south-southwest at 10 miles per hour. Humidity 31%, and the sun rose this morning at 6:07 and is setting tonight at 7:19 p.m. The humidity rises up to 51%, and the wind continues to blow east-southeast at 11 miles per hour. The low tonight is going to be 45 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast that we're seeing. Tomorrow it is going to be pretty windy at 20 mile an hour wind speeds at 69 degrees. On Saturday it'll be 74 with sunny skies. On Sunday, Easter Sunday, it'll be 81 degrees, 83 on Monday, 85 on Earth Day and Mikey's birthday. Wednesday, it's going to be 84, and Thursday, 81, so make sure not to blow away tomorrow because it is going to be pretty windy. Back to the desk, here's UNET.
Thanks so much, Rory, and we love those temperatures for this holiday weekend. And as we wrap up this newscast, we'd like to wish everyone a very blessed Friday, Good Friday, and a very happy Easter. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm UNET Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.